Be Informed. My name is Carl Buhariwala, and I founded Be Informed to help people make good decisions. Today, we're joined by Leena Amin of Golden Light Communications, who will be talking to us about how to manage stress. Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the lands on which we're meeting today and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. Today's session, Managing Stress, which we'll talk about how to manage stress, will be a guide on health and well-being. And any information shared today is, of course, general in nature. If you do have any specific queries about your health and well-being, including to manage stress, you may wish to consider consulting a professional who can help you on that journey. The information presented today is current as of this month, so if you wish to rely on information in the future, please do check its accuracy. But given the general nature of this information, it should be okay to rely on. So in terms of today's session, Leena will be presenting the seminar for about 25 minutes, and then after that we'll move into Q&A. If you do have any questions, feel free to send them through to me in the chat function, and I will then relay them to Leena for her to provide a response. Leena's also kindly prepared a one-page handout, which will be shared with registered participants following the session. So you've got a handy one-page sort of summary of the session you can use or share with family and friends who need it. So with that in mind, I'll now hand over to Leena, who will take us through the seminar.
Thank you, Carl, for having me on board with Be Informed, and it's wonderful to meet all of you today. So happy Valentine's Day. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule to spend some time to learn about how to manage your stress. So before I get into that, I'll just give you a little background about me. As you know, my name is Leena, and I'm a psychic, I'm a healer, and a medium. So I've been doing psychic healing work for over 20 years. And also I have an educational background in psychology. So I've got a background in metaphysics and psychology. So I've got a graduate diploma in psychology from the University of Melbourne, and I've also got a level 1 and level 2 Reiki master certificate. So today what I'm going to talk about is how to manage stress. So I can give you a little example of what happened to me today. I actually am not that IT savvy, so I actually needed Carl's help to actually get on board to have a conversation with you all today. And it was a little stressful for me. So I actually had to practice some of these techniques that I'll go through with you later on. So what I want to talk about is stress. We all feel stress in our lives, whether it's work, family, relationships, finance, or health. So they're all different areas of our life that we can feel stress. For example, work stress, you have tight deadlines. Life event, having a baby, getting married, moving house. Also losing a loved one or health issues, like if you get a physical ailment, or whether it's financial trouble. So I'm sure you would have experienced stress at some time in your life. The key is to actually find ways to help you manage stress. Stress can take a toll on your mental and physical health. Good stress actually motivates you to get things done. However, prolonged stress over a long period of time can actually take a toll on your mental health and your physical health. So the key is to actually look out for signs of stress to help you manage where you're at and what tools you can use to help you through it. For example, prolonged stress can actually lead to anxiety, can lead to depression. It can also weaken your immune system, which can also lead to colds and flus, because when you're weakened your immune system, you become more susceptible to colds and flus. And also, it can also lead to tension headaches and blood pressure. So when you have some of these symptoms, it's good to acknowledge what's happening to you. And then you can use some tools to help you to manage these stresses. So the key is to find out what works for you. There's no right or wrong. There's so many different tools out there. Because it's a short period and a short time that we've got here today, I just thought I'll go through 3 techniques to help you to manage your stress. And they're quite simple, it's easy, and give it a go. So one of the techniques is gratitude. Gratitude, practicing gratitude, counting your blessings, finding 3 things that you're grateful for during the day. You can start at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day. That actually helps uplift your mood and actually helps decrease stress. Martin Seligman, who's the father of psychology, positive psychology, he did studies on gratitude. He actually did studies with a group of people where they spent 10 to 5 minutes a day working out what they're grateful for and counting their blessings, whether it's large or small. And they did it over a period of a week, and it actually significantly increases your happiness and reduces stress. So, what I'd like to do with you all today is I'm going to give you some time. I'll give you about 3 to 4 minutes to actually write down yourself what are the 3 things that you have gratitude and count your blessings for. And I'll just get Carl to share them online a little bit. So I'll give you some time to do that right now.
Thanks, Leena. Yes, if you could all please post your sort of top 3 gratuities, I guess, what you're grateful for, and then we can share them with Leena.
I'll just go through 3 while you guys are brainstorming right now, since it's a group activity. I'm thankful and grateful for Carl, for giving me the opportunity to come on board and share some information on stress. Also today for helping me with the IT. That was a very stressful moment for me. And I'm thankful for my loved ones. I'm really have a lot of gratitude for that because they're my support system. So as much as you're a healer, it's good to have your own support system around you as well. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. So, Leena, some of the sort of comments that we're getting through the chat function are being able to eat. Many times, people don't have food available to them that's readily available and nutritious.
Yeah.
So, access to that, being able to work, actually having a job and not having to worry about, being able to put food on the table or pay for bills. That's one of those. Do we have any others that are coming through? Another one that we received is around being able to be quite flexible in what you want to do, especially
Yeah, that's a great one.
in this type of community, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's up to you. There's no right or wrong here, what you're grateful for. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's small or big, it's about you. It's about your journey, what you're thankful and how you count your blessings in every day.
Yeah.
And the key is to try and give this a go for the next 21 days, and you'll see a change in how you feel. It actually uplifts your mood. So I encourage you all to give it a go. And even if you just don't do it for 21 days, do it for 7 days or whenever you remember, So it's about finding the right tool that works for you. Now, the next tool we're going to go through is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment. It's about engaging all your senses in what you're doing right now with no judgment, with acceptance. For example, like you're going for a walk, mindfulness walking. You're going outside for a walk in the park. You notice the sounds you hear. You notice what you see. You notice what you feel. You hear the birds singing. You feel the wind on your skin, the sun shining bright and the warmth on your face, being fully present. You can apply this technique to even eating and drinking a cup of tea. Any activity you can apply this to. For example, we're celebrating Chinese New Year. So I'll give an example of mixed stir-fry veggies. Okay, you've got a plate. You can see all the different colors. You can see the orange carrots. You can see the green broccoli, you can see the bean sprouts, you can see all vibrant colors, right? And then you take in the smells. So you can smell in the garlic and the ginger and the soy. And then you take a taste of it, right? And then you can taste it in your mouth. And as you're chewing, you can actually hear the chewingness as well. So it's about being fully present in what you're doing. So even if your mind wanders, because sometimes it happens, we have a to-do list, we get busy in life. So we think, oh, what we need to do next, or we think about the past. The key is that's okay. You absorb that thought and you bring yourself back into the present moment. So you can apply this to different techniques and you can apply it to different activities as well. And even if you can't focus all your senses in what you're doing, focus on one sense. Do it one step at a time and see how you go. So I just want to put out there, has anyone in the group actually practiced mindfulness or know much about it?
Yes, everyone, please feel free to message me if you have practiced mindfulness. One's typing.
Okay.
So this person is mentioning that they do it before and after work.
Oh, that's great.
To get them into the zone and then to sort of get them out of the zone and, you know, sort of have that, I guess, that block between work and personal life.
Yeah, it's your me time, isn't it? It's a great time for a bit of self-care to refresh, recharge, and get balanced before you go back into opening the door into family life.
Mm-hmm. I've got another one here around sort of doing it as they walk, you know, so I think you've mentioned it here as well, mindfulness walking. They don't have any devices around them or on them at the time. And they just simply just go out for a walk and ensure that they are absorbing all the elements. And as you notice, hearing what they can hear.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you have any others? Going for a drive?
Beautiful. Even I love going for a drive.
Without any intention of going anywhere. I think just, you know, just um, touring around.
Yeah, so the key is to find what works for you. And there's so much to explore out there. And even sharing different techniques with your friends and family, you know, you can learn and grow from them as well. They may do something that you don't do, or you might do something that they don't do, and then you can give it a go. So it's all about coming up with a stress management plan for yourself, you know, for everyday use. And another technique is meditation. So, meditation has shown many benefits to decrease stress and help you lift your mood and well being. There are many types of meditations that you can do, but because it's a short period, I thought I'll just focus on one, which is breathing. Very simple, just focus on your breathing. Engage all your senses in breathing. Sit in a comfortable position, whether it's in your chair or cross legged, or lie down on the bed, and then you place your hands on your stomach with one on top of the other. And then what you do is you breathe in and you actually expand your stomach and count to 3. And then you breathe out, exhale, and count to 3. So even just breathing can help. And if you can't focus on breathing, it's a yogic technique when you actually add saw and hum. So I'll talk you through it right now. I'll actually show you. I'll stand up and do it so you can actually see. So you got your hands on your stomach and then you breathe in. So, um, so, um, so, um. And if you can't practice with the word saw hum, you can actually breathe in light. So just imagine yourself in a big ball of white light as it comes in and engulfs you throughout all your body, and you feel the white light throughout you. So you breathe in the white light, and you breathe out the white light. And those of you that have a spiritual or a religious background, you can actually connect with the form or the deity that you connect with, whether it's Jesus, God, or Krishna, or Buddha, or the universe. And you can breathe their essence into you, which actually helps you feel relaxed in a meditative state. And you just breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. and you feel their divine essence coming in you and engulfing you and being with you. You can practice this 3 times a day or 6 times a day or 9 times a day, whenever you feel comfortable. Whenever you get a time during your day and you feel like you need to recharge very quickly, like for example, today, I did that as well. I actually did that breathing exercise. I was a little stressed out on coming on time. So I do apologize to you all that I was late, but I did those breathing exercises and it helped me feel relaxed and focus on what I need to do next instead of getting overwhelmed with it. So I just wanted to make it a short session today because this topic is quite vast and there's a lot of things that you can get into. There's a lot of techniques out there that can help you to manage your stress. Another example is being in nature helps you reduce your stress, looking at green and blue. So if you like going to the park or you like going to the mountains, that's a wonderful thing. Or if you like going to walk by the beach or lake, or even looking at a scenery, reduces your stress by 70%. Just or looking at a picture, just 3 minutes will help you reduce your stress. So that's another technique you can try. So there's plenty we can go. I can go on forever on this topic. I just want to thank Carl and all of you for your time. And I'll just keep it open to questions right now because there's a lot of things that you may want to ask and we can go through together and see what you want to explore at a later date as well. Because you have to take care of your, not just your mental health, but your physical health, but your emotional, spiritual health. So there's a lot of different techniques that you can use. And if you want to know more understanding of how to look after your body and look after the 4 hormones that help you reduce your stress, we can do that at a later date. Handing over to Carl and any questions and answers that everyone has.
Thank you, Leena. So just before we proceed on to Q&A, Leena's details are on screen. So if you do have any queries, feel free to reach out to her directly if you want to learn about the techniques that she's talked through or want to learn a bit about others. So we'll now move into Q&A, and just as a reminder, this session is being recorded. So if you have joined late or wish to view the session again, you can always go to our YouTube channel and view it at your own pace or in your leisure. And Leena has currently kindly prepared a 1-page handout, which will be shared with registered participants following today's session. So you've got a summary of the topics that she's talked about. So moving to Q&A, Leena, so I've got a couple of questions, one being around identifying triggers that lead to stress. What are your thoughts on individuals being open and I guess, aware of their current circumstances so they can identify that they are being subject to a stressor event and can then take steps to deal with it. I think a lot of the times people will not want to say that they're stressed and
Of course. I think the key is to work out for yourself what your triggers are. And that's first thing is to look at your mental and physical health. So if it's taking a toll, like I said, you got the good stress that motivates you to get things done. Like for example, today I had a little bit of stress because I'm not IT savvy, but it helped me get the job done. But if it's prolonged stress, where you feel that that you got anxiety, you got a lot of fear and worries, you can't sleep, you have tension, headaches, you don't want to socialize with people, you want to stay by yourself. So it's when you're shutting off from everyone. So those are some of the symptoms of prolonged stress, and that's when you need to seek some of these tools to help you. And if it prolongs for a longer term, go seek medical help.
yeah.
So, get your blood pressure checked because sometimes we live in a busy work style now. So some people get work stress and people get burnout and they don't even realize that they have high blood pressure or anything like that until they go to the doctor and they realize, oh, I've got high blood pressure. Oh, what? And then the doctor will ask you, well, why have you got that? Is anything happening in your life? It goes, oh, got a lot of work overload at work and a lot of tight deadlines. So those are the key indicators that can actually help you. And even your family members or friends around you would notice a change in your behavior.
Right.
So even if you can't recognize it yourself, you have loved ones around you actually helping you. But I can go into more detail about some of these symptoms, and we can just save that for another day because I just thought it was a short thing. So I only gave a few because it's actually more detailed. There's emotional responses, physical responses, and mental responses that can cause stress, you know, like that helps you help you to work out yourself what your triggers are, and then help you to work you through it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, what words of advice would you give to someone who needs to open up more about the realization that they are stressed, right? I think that's the query that we're getting is what can
Talk,
they do? Talk to
yeah,
people.
yeah. Talk to someone you feel comfortable with, where you know there's no judgment.
Mm.
To a confidant, whether it's a partner or a friend or someone, a work colleague, like someone that you feel comfortable talking to with no judgment. And it's okay to seek help. There's always been a taboo about mental health, especially with stress and anxiety and depression, but everyone goes through it in their period of life. You know, there's no stigma on it. Everyone goes through it, you know. Children go through it, adults go through it, teenagers go through it. We all go through it at different times and places of our life. So it's okay to ask for help, because that's the first thing. That takes strength and courage to ask for help, and that's the best thing, is to ask someone that you feel comfortable with. And if you don't know how to express yourself, just actually talk about how you feel, and maybe your friend or someone around you, or a doctor or a medical health professional, whether it's a counselor or a psychologist, or if it's someone at work, it could be the AAP line. Like wherever you feel comfortable is where you need to be talking to. Because you may
Right.
not want to share it with your immediate group. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes you might not want to share it with your close family and friends. It might be something that you want to deal with a professional and work out before you share that with your family. Everyone's got different personalities, you know. Some people are open and extroverts and share, while others are introverts and don't want to share, and they need to figure out what it is before they share. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So it's about finding the right avenue for you and what works for you and where you feel comfortable. That's the main thing, with no judgment.
Yeah.
If you feel judged, then that's not the right person. If they're giving you advice on things instead of listening and being that friendly ear, then that's not the right person. You got to find someone else. And if you've got a spiritual or religious background, prayer is a beautiful thing too. That you can actually reach out and chat to God, to Jesus, to Krishna, to Buddha, and have that conversation like your best friend, and share how you feel and surrender it, and you'll see, or even to the universe, and that will actually help you manage your stress and actually work your way through it, because you're given signs from angels and people around you to help you through it. So if you surrender your prayer, the right people, you know how you have angels that come in disguise, you get the kindness of strangers you just don't know. You hear it in threes, it's called signs, you know, whether it's through the radio or through TV or through someone else, that you get the answer to your prayer. So that's another avenue as well. So it's about where you're at and what you feel comfortable doing. There's no right or wrong here.
Right. And Leena, we've had a question about the practice of reflection.
Yeah.
How is that important with managing stress? Reflecting on what you've been doing and your current circumstances.
Yeah, I think it's a very good thing to reflect on your day or what you've been doing. But the key is to accept it for what it is and not dwell on it. Does that make sense? The key is to accept what it is and not spend too much time on it, because when you spend too much time on it, that's where the anxiety and the stresses actually increase. Do you know what I mean? So accept it for what it is. If there's some changes that you feel that you need to make those changes. If you made a mistake, say, yes, I made a mistake, I accept it, but I moved on. You don't dwell on it. So it's like you just let the water slide, if that makes sense, under the bridge. So every day is a clean slate, you know. There's a teaching from Buddha: you live each day to the fullest, you know, as if it's your last day on earth. That's what, you know, that's what you should do. Just live in the moment and just go with the flow.
Yeah. So hopefully that sort of responds to that query of how it's important to consider and reflect on what you've done so you
Yeah.
can make improvements for the better, right?
Yes, that's correct. And so what's right for you? For example, what's right for me might not be right for you, Carl, or for the people that are listening.
Mm.
You just got to take things in, and at the end of the day, you have to do what you feel is right for you, for your journey. Because we're all souls having a human experience, and we're all having different life lessons, materialistically and spiritually. So it's about what you take in with the information, and then you sit on it, And then you do what you feels right. It's your intuition and your soul and your heart speaking to you what you need to do next.
Yeah. Just putting the call out to any other questions that you want to ask Leena. Maybe Leena, if you could just cover off another technique to manage stress. You mentioned that you've got a few in the bag. The other one you mentioned was, embracing nature. Is there another one that you could sort of share with the group?
Yeah, journaling is another beautiful way of helping you with stress. Journaling, if you're a writer, just sit down and just write out all your feelings and emotions and just putting it on paper. Because when you're putting it on paper, you're actually releasing the burden that you feel here on your chest and on your shoulders, and then just leaving it there and not even looking at it. And then coming back to reflection, you can look back on it after all and have a look at it and just see where you need to work on and work out where you need to get the help that you need, if that makes sense. Because journaling is a very good way of expressing yourself. It's personal. You can write it as a diary to yourself. You can write it to yourself, dear Leena, this is how my day went today. I did this, this, and this. This is how I felt. This are the emotions. You can do it personal, or you can even do it if you've got a spiritual or religious background. Put it out to the universe, or you write, "Dear God, dear universe," and write it that way. So it's about releasing your emotions, releasing your stress, and taking it off yourself, and then accepting for what it is. Because once you released it, you feel much better. And another technique is just laughing, releasing endorphins. I mean, I'm sure you would have heard of releasing endorphin. Laughter is the best medicine. It's true. I'd totally recommend finding something that makes you laugh, whether it's stand-up comedy or a comedy show. For me, it's Friends. I go to it whenever I need a pick me up to get a bit of me time. Like releasing emotions, releasing endorphins makes you feel better. So laughing and even exercising. So it's about finding what works for you and having a play with it and just coming up with your own little stress management schedule or plan, and then reevaluating it. You know, sometimes you might get bored with some of those techniques, so you go find another technique and you just mix it up.
That's right. And I think a lot of the times we do, we do laugh, we do exercise, we do sometimes write down, what we're going to do for do for today or reflect on what we have done.
Yeah,
We just don't realize that we're actually, embracing these techniques and
that's right. It's part of
bringing
everyday life.
it, yeah. And
But the key is to look after not just your physical mental health, but your emotional spiritual health, because we're encompassed with with the four bodies. So it's about working out, even eating right, for example, eating clean, healthy food, fruits and veggies. You know, we've heard it so many times. Take a multivitamin, take your vitamin C, take your vitamin D. That takes care of your physical health, which helps with your mental health, which helps with your stress levels as well. As you know, sometimes we get stressed, we have different emotions to stress, right? Some people do stress eating, and that's when you crave the junk food, the carbs, whether it's a pack of chips or whether it's cheese and biscuits, but the key is to work out what your triggers are and then finding the right tools to help you through it.
that's great. Well, there are no further queries or questions through the chat function. I'm just going to have another look. So thank you, Leena, for presenting today's seminar.
Thank you for having me, Carl.
Just sharing her details on screen again, Leena's details. If you do have any queries, please feel free to reach out to her directly and she can respond to those. So
Thank you very much. Just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy Chinese New Year, and may your health be good health. I quoted Fraser Crane there. He's one of my favorites, and he makes me laugh. So if you haven't seen his show, go check it out.
thank you, Leena. So I just
Thank
want to
you. Take care. God bless. Bye.
bye-bye.